First of all, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mustafa Krayem, and let me reintroduce the Short Sticks.
Wow.
But why reintroduce?
I think we're 3 shows too late.
Because many listeners have said, who are these people? We still don't know who they are. So we forget to reintroduce ourselves and remind them of who we are. My name is Mustafa Krayem. What's your name?
My name is Mustafa Al-Ayubi.
And what's your name?
Mustafa Al-Halbouni.
So the voices are not the same, listeners.
Mustafa and Mustafa.
It's a good point to bring it up at the beginning of the show because almost every show, people tell us we sound the same.
So you're Ayubi?
We don't talk the same. We don't have the same vocabulary. We don't... definitely not you. I don't know. Whatever it is.
My vocabulary is not as vast as you think.
What? No.
I just love to learn new words.
That's fine. Give him a pat on the back, Halbouni.
No,
whatever it is.
I'm just sipping his awesome tea. He made... I don't know if he made it.
Anyhow,
awesome
but
tea.
the point is, we don't sound the same. We don't talk the same. We don't look the same. Nothing's the same. Is it?
I'll tell you what's the same.
What's the same?
Our microphones.
It is. They are the same. Our headsets aren't.
That's right. I was getting to that. You beat me to it.
Yeah.
Mine's the golden headset.
Your one's missing the golden ring.
Oh, no, don't say that.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It is.
That's it.
I was
You got the
buying...
black headset now.
I was buying juice the other day.
Yeah.
Not at the place that everyone talks about, at another place. At night.
What's the place that everyone talks about?
I don't want to mention it. It's just a meme that everyone... Anyway, I was in the car park. I bought my sugar cane. I walked out late at night, beautiful night. As I'm walking in the open space, there was a group of, just to be specific, Asian boys hanging out, waiting for their friends to come.
Yeah.
And the car turns the corner 60 k's an hour at least. Four-wheel drive, full of boys. This is no joke. This happened to me yesterday.
Yeah.
It missed me by less than half a meter. I felt the wind. I felt the wind of the car from the speed of the car
Yeah.
go past me. I took a deep breath like that. I took a sip of my sugar cane, and then the boys that were waiting for the car, one of them ran over the car.
Sugar
No, I won't
cane
mention the place. One of them ran over to the car after he parked.
Yeah.
He parked very quick, and he's like, "What's wrong with you?" That's when I realized it was that close. I took another sip out of my drink. I'm trying to
Trying to relax.
relax. Yeah, I started to shake.
No, don't shake,
Have
crazy.
you seen him with the shakes?
I'm a very patient guy, but I
He
started
drops
to shake.
his juice when he hasn't got the shakes. What about the shakes?
That's true. No, the juice didn't drop. The sugar cane didn't drop. Then I looked at the main ringleader of the group, younger boys.
The ringleader.
No, because he's
Well, like imagine these Asians with guns and swords
the
riding
back
motorcycles.
of my mind, I was assessing the situation, thinking, does this guy have, not to be stereotypical, but is there a gun in the back of the car? Because I've had it anyway. I told him, I raised my voice very loudly. I told him, you better go tell that person driving the car to keep his eyes open, because he was this close on being a convicted murderer.
Convicted of manslaughter?
Manslaughter, yeah, I said that. And his reaction surprised me because his jaw dropped.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, there's going to be maybe a bit of an
You know,
altercation.
Ayubi's not like he's thinking that he's not seeing that you almost died.
I literally almost died.
I'm trying. So he's trying to paint this image of him being this not a gangster, but
No.
This is tough reply. Tell that guy.
It was very. There was no derogatory language used.
No.
There was screaming and yelling, but all the words that I used were polite words, because I'm not that type of person.
Yeah.
I don't need to swear and cuss at his mum because he nearly killed me. And
What's his mum got to do with it?
no, you know when they say,
Yeah.
your mum. I knew it was that serious because the person that gave him my drink, the owner of the store,
Uh-huh.
or his daughter or his niece, whatever, came straight to the car. And that's when I knew that it was real. I told her, is it as serious as I think? Did this car nearly hit me by this much? She was shaking. She said, yeah, the car nearly hit you. Oh my God, I can't believe this has happened. So I told her, don't worry, they don't represent your business. It's okay. But lucky they did this to the wrong person. They didn't do this to someone else. Another person, it would have been a huge all-out
Yeah. If someone had
a temporary issue or someone who wouldn't handle it.
can I just ask a serious question? If we lose Graham, Who's going to replace him on a podcast?
I think the podcast will come to an end.
Oof.
Not because of me, the three of us.
Probably make one more podcast to commemorate him.
I reckon you guys will sell.
Nice send off.
I think you guys will sell merchandise off me. You profit off my death.
We'll do merch with his face.
Yeah. But seriously,
and a sugarcane juice.
No, we'll make a shirt with 2 sticks and one of them's broken.
farewell top 1%. Oh, that's a mad gimmick. Yeah, the girl, she told me she was shaking. I told her it's okay. Look, I know that represent your business. I nearly died, but it's fine. Thank God that nothing happened. I jumped in my car and that's when I started shaking a lot. I drove straight over to them. There's about 5, 6 of them, but the younger guys. Was not to show an act of, anger or whatever. I told them, all I said was like this: who was the driver? And they said, sorry, we're so sorry. I said, who was the driver?
Oh, no.
And they said, it was me, but we're so sorry. I told them, sorry is not going to cut it because you missed me by this much. Just keep your eyes open and drive safe. And I think they weren't expecting me to talk like that.
They thought you were going to have a go.
Yeah. And then they're like, sorry. I told them, stop saying sorry. Just keep your eyes open and drive safe. I drove off and it set in that I nearly just died.
So dramatic. But you're not
understanding that I nearly just died?
No, he's saying the situation is dramatic.
No, but I think he hasn't actually set in, because of the way I'm describing it.
All
it
I'm
was
trying to
very
say,
close.
If I almost run, if let's say I'm being silly on the road and I drive like that and someone approaches me with a sugarcane juice in their hand and I got the shakes.
No, it was in the car. That's when I was in the car.
I don't know how seriously I can take that person. That's
Mate, the car missed me by this much. A fraction
of a meter.
You know what? If you guys want to make light of my near death, I don't want sympathy or empathy. I just want you to acknowledge that I nearly died.
No, we acknowledge
you
that
could have lost
died,
me,
but just the way that the story was portrayed,
it's true.
You could have just said, guys, I was at a place getting juice, and I almost got run over by you. It missed me by a fraction of a meter.
That story could have been like maybe 15 seconds long.
Yeah, and then we would have been very upset.
But there was more to the story.
The shaking and the lady.
There was a moral to the story. Then you get it.
Yeah,
but young people driving and not focusing on the road. Hello,
you could have reached the moral.
And then thinking that sorry is enough to
solve everything. Yeah,
saying sorry is okay.
That's right.
But really, it's about understanding from the mistake they made.
That's right. What if I told you sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will rip my skin apart?
Well, speaking about skin and words ripping skin apart, you know what really debilitates me?
Yeah, what?
You know what really frustrates me?
What?
People that bully people into believing that their body image is unacceptable socially.
Yeah.
Or that someone doesn't fit into a group because
he looks a certain way.
He looks or she looks a certain way.
That's horrible.
Honestly, and that's very, very difficult. And, I'm going to let you take stride on this, Ayubi, and tell us, your thoughts in general about body image. What are your thoughts about body image?
My thoughts about body image?
Just in general. Is body image positive? Can it be negative? Is there even such thing as having a positive body image?
There is. And I think the people that have self-confidence, that don't need reassurance from everyone online and likes and comments and whatever it is. I think there's a lot of people that have that confidence. They're okay with themselves. They're fine.
They embrace themselves.
Even if someone tells them they don't look good. If someone is insecure enough to attack them or bully them in a certain manner, these people are fine. There's many of them. Not as many as before and not as many as there should be. But there's still a fair bit of people like that. But unfortunately, I think the majority of the people have a negative body image where even if they look good, they think, I don't look good. And honestly, that makes everyone around them feel a bit iffy.
Do you blame it on social constructs or do you blame it on just the person themselves?
Both. It's them being insecure from certain reasons while growing up. So not having the right assurance from their parents while growing up, or the right guidance from their guardians while growing up, and then suddenly because especially with us, I think we were the first people to encounter social media, our generation.
Yep.
Yeah. Prior to that, there was no proper social media.
It was just body image compared to media and magazines.
Yeah, you'd see. So it was, people were uncomfortable, but not as much because they would see posters.
But there
of
wasn't
these
so much access to.
No, especially amongst the youth, the youngsters.
Didn't they remove the? You can't see how many people liked the number. The public can't see.
Yeah, they did. But again, it's not about that took away a part of it, but the people get off on it. So they basically, people when they see their notifications say such and such liked your post, such and such commented on your post, and you'd be like, oh, they like it, they must like it.
They enjoy the attention.
They enjoy it and they need it. They live off it. Because if they don't get it, you see it. You see them. They have a bad day. If they don't, so let's say they dress up in a certain way, no one complimented that dress. They're unhappy.
What about those people that they would harm their health, physical and mental health, in order to achieve a look that's unrealistic? Like those people that starve themselves or go on a crazy diet, such as the water diet for 3 months
say
straight.
something that's sensitive for me? And I felt like I'm trying to teach this to the youth. I've been trying to push it for a while, and Graham would agree with me. Men, especially amongst the youngsters of the men, they grow up seeing that a rough man is supposed to look in a certain way. For example, muscles, build, the separation between the muscles. They see big shoulders, big biceps, big triceps, and so on and so on. This big chest. They literally harm themselves and take these drugs that they have no clue what these drugs do. They just learn what these drugs, they think these drugs do such and such. They learned it from someone
Or
off
what
the street.
they think they can achieve with these drugs.
Or they get the perfect mixed cocktail of performance enhancing drugs.
Yeah, and they forget that these things are drugs. They're synthetic drugs.
You know,
The pharmaceuticals made them, and they have side effects, and they work in a certain way. So for them to work, things have to be.
it's funny that you mentioned that Ronnie Coleman, who was one of the biggest bodybuilders of all time, recently just mentioned that he didn't take performance enhancing drugs until he was nearly 30.
Yeah, man.
And he was one of the biggest bodybuilders of all time.
Most of them were. Most of the true pros didn't take drugs until a big time, like a long time had passed into their pro career.
And he said that your strength and power, that's the real power, is usually naturally built within you.
Yeah, but anyhow, so the point is that I was trying to push through, is that for the young men, that it's so sad. Honestly, it's so sad. I used to see these 17-year-olds injecting themselves with stuff and taking pills and taking things, and then they start losing their hair at a very young age. They have
Start developing liver problems, kidney problems.
They have too much blood.
It's crazy that
horrible, man.
They resort to performance enhancing drugs and they haven't even entered 20. Like I can't even fathom what it will do to your body before 20. Injecting needles up your ass.
Man, they used to be.
It's true.
It's not up your ass.
Or
it's
your
not-
shoulder.
it's on
Or
your cheeks.
muscles.
Not up your
Is it intramuscular?
I think so, yeah. But man, there used to be a gym.
Intramuscular, yeah.
The first gym I went to, they had to shut down the toilets at one stage.
Why?
They had to monitor the toilets who's coming in and out, because every time I used to walk into the toilets, it's just needles all
Is
over
that
the
when
floor.
we had a
Are you
training
serious?
session together?
Yeah, it is a long time ago. I'm not kidding. To the extent that the owner of the gym, he said, I can't do this. You guys are going to get me locked up. They were selling them. They were dealing them. 16, 17. I'm not kidding, man. 16 years old, if not younger. But I know for a fact, some people that were 16 years of age taking high dosages of testosterone. Man, this bloke has already got a peak of testosterone in his
at
body.
16, your testosterone's through the roof.
So he's shutting down his natural cycle of testosterone and he's injecting it with this synthetic amount of testosterone, trying to reach a place. And his body hasn't even grown properly, because the men keep growing until like 20 to their 20s. They get wider, the muscles develop more, the bones
Your
develop.
bone density grows, your muscle belly grows.
This guy hasn't even reached that stage and is taking drugs. It's sad. And that's, man, they started asking some of the boys around the gyms, who takes such and such. Most of them answered, we do.
Look, you just reminded me of that age where people wanted to look like they're 8% body fat all year round. So they went from wanting to be bodybuilders to wanting to look shredded for the party night. And just completely shredded. You mentioned this to me the other day. It's unrealistic to maintain that sort of body all year round. And it can have detrimental effects to your health.
Yeah.
You can acquire a good, healthy body going about it the correct way, and working hard for it. Hard work, no matter what you take, any shortcut, you can't replace hard work. Without hard work, you won't get there, even if you are on performance enhancing drugs.
Well, you know, it's about how you look at like a body image or your body
Yeah.
image. So having a healthy body image means being comfortable and knowing that there is more to you than just your physical appearance. Conversely, having an unhealthy body image involves always thinking your body is unattractive. Sometimes it can also make a person forget that they have value beyond what they look like.
Yeah.
So they just focus on what they look like, what they look like, what they look like, without focusing on the positive aspects of their body, their characteristics, their person.
Man, I used to know from, I don't know if you remember back in the early 90s, a lot of the bodybuilders died either on stage or behind the stage, or even traveling to shows, because they weren't happy with their body image. So they're the people that the youngsters looked up to, and these guys were overdosing on diuretics. So it's a type of drug that makes you lose a lot of water rapidly. So for example, they'll start taking, they'll lose like 5 kilos of water within the first, I don't know, week or two, and they'll start losing and getting shredded. And again, the youngsters don't know that this is behind the scene. They don't think that this guy got that shredded like that, and his veins are like that, and his skin is so thin like that, that he's taken all these drugs to bring him down to that level, and he's overdosing on diuretics to get to that level. They had to control it, man. The trainers were called in and they said, no, that is too much. You can't do it. And that's bodybuilders, man. They faced body image problems.
And that just shows you that the face of the body image, like social media body image, is built by these people. And if
And
these
they're
people
not happy.
are facing these issues, what have they left for those that look up to them, like they said? And it's a problem because these things they're advertised and they're pushed in our faces constantly
Yeah.
through magazines, TV, Facebook,
fake,
Instagram, all different types of social media.
So fake. So many fillers, so many drugs.
When you look at it in a nutshell, there's a number of factors that influence body image, and that builds that perception of what's a perceived body that people aspire to, or those type of people that aspire to. You have the physical, the social, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual health. They all come into play when one of them is in dire
Circumstance?
yeah. So for example, your physical self,
Yeah.
if you're feeling so down upon yourself and you're not happy with what you look like, so you look into the mirror and you're not happy or satisfied with how you look, it can be because of the media, it can be because of social media, it can be the TV that you're watching every day, the show that you're watching every day, a celebrity that you aspire to look like.
But do you reckon that was from an upbringing that wasn't like he had a part of his upbringing that he didn't get fulfilled? That insecurity bit, that him being secure, like feeling secure about his emotions, about himself, or feeling insecure. So I understand that we grew up in that, and social media wasn't around on our parents' time for us to teach us these things. But I feel like, for example, for the likes of you and I, we understood this stuff and we tried to overcome it.
Yeah, when I was younger, I went through a phase of wanting to put on a lot of muscle. And
did you feel insecure? So did you do
No,
that
the
because you
reason
felt
why-
a certain way?
No, the reason why I started training, because I was always healthy and fit and tried to maintain that lifestyle, was because I lacked strength and power naturally. And my brother would grab a hold of me and he'd
I used to
overpower
beat him
me.
in arm wrestles.
Yeah, so my natural strength.
Probably still beat him in arm
Nah,
wrestles.
no way.
I reckon I'll beat him. Yes,
No, he won't.
I think he'll put.
I'll challenge him.
I'll
right
beat
now
both
on
of
the
you.
podcast.
You reckon?
In one night. Yeah, but my natural strength and power, naturally, my strength wasn't the strongest. My grip strength. I'm born like that.
Yeah.
And I thank God that at a young age I realized, okay, I need to work on my strength. Then I realized that I have power through training. I realized, okay, my power is good, but my strength went. And that's how it began. But I did have a physique that I aspired to be.
Yeah.
But the older I got, I realized that when your metabolism slows down and a lot of factors come into play, you just try to train to be fit and healthy. But what I'm worried about is these young people, women and men, who have this unrealistic idea of how they should look, and they're pulling out all stops to try to get that
Yeah.
whether it's by taking illicit drugs or whether it's by
Surgery,
changing
man.
their body.
Yeah.
Yeah, changing their body in
I
unhealthy
think we were
ways.
discussing this before we started recording. And back in our home country, because there's not as many regulations and whatnot. Because basically, if they go to a plastic surgeon, if their mum says yes, it's okay, do it. The plastic surgeon will do it on a child. 15 years old, they'll get lip fillers, they'll get Botox or whatever it is. I don't know whatever they get, but 15 years old, they're already trying to alter their body. Oh wow! You
Sorry
right
about that. Yeah, I'm fine. That's right. At 15 years of age, they're trying to alter the body. But I'll bring to a light to something that you're talking about.
Yeah.
They're trying to alter the body to have a certain look.
Yeah.
Did you know that in the early 1900s, every decade or every 20 years, the ideal female body changed?
Yeah, man. They did a video on I think I don't know if it was BuzzFeed. That was so interesting.
On Facebook.
Yeah.
I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah, well, even for men and women.
Yeah, the ideal body changed.
How awesome, man! The men used to dress in such a stylish way
Yeah.
in the early
They didn't just
1900s.
present the body, but they presented also the style of dressing,
Yeah.
the hairstyles and how things changed through time.
You had the in the where is it here? Then I'm getting you the year.
Man, I remember the mafia. They're so-called gangsters. People consider them as gangsters and murderers and robbers and thieves, whatever it is. These people dressed in the best of clothing, best shoes, best belts, best
And used to constantly take care of the way they look.
yeah. And they used to say, like, if someone was to join them, he had to dress in that way.
Yeah,
Can you
that's-
that's how
In
people
order
were
to be considered part of their
But
group.
The point is, people were stylish. So you'd look at the early 1900s, man, they did I saw a video of, even in Australia, so they were interviewing people, and I don't know when that was, like in the 50s or 60s or something, I think 50s as well. They had a video of it, so they're sitting there recording people, and I'm not kidding, it's so funny. All the men in the city, in Sydney, they were all dressed in suits.
Yeah.
There was no one dressed in just shorts or normal pants, it's all suits.
And that's because of the way society changed how people can dress, and it was
Yeah.
accepted in society. So you can watch many videos about how, for example, our comfortable Adidas and Nike and all those sort of trackies and that comfortable clothing came to be something very normal to wear. Before, it was frowned upon if you were to
Yeah.
walk out of your house in trackies and a jumper.
What do you mean in even in England in the early 1900s? I think a woman. It was even in America before the 1940s. It was frowned upon for a woman to walk on the beach in the Western countries.
Yeah.
If a woman was to go to the beach, she was slammed. How can you walk on the beach?
Yeah.
Now
And
a
you
woman.
talk, that's even when Elvis, remember Elvis? Well, they
Was
frowned
he
upon him for
70s?
shaking his legs on stage.
Was he 70s or
On the
80s?
shakes.
70s.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Might have been before this. I don't know, man.
You
I
know,
don't follow that stuff.
talking about all of this and talking about how things have changed over time and relating it to body image, you just think, you know, what are things that people may feel if they have a negative body image? Because we did say body image can be positive. What are things that someone may feel or think if they have negative body image? You know, just things as simple as they might think that they look too fat,
Yeah.
or they might feel like they're not pretty, or they're not
Man,
muscular enough.
I think, I think there's a fine line between having a bad body image or thinking ill of your body image and being unaware of the reality. So, for example, if you reach a certain weight that's unacceptable, it's unhealthy, and you choose to ignore it because you say, no, I'm happy the way I am, I'm just continuing, I feel secure, I'm all right, I don't care what people say. I think that's an unhealthy mentality because you've reached where it's physically unhealthy to be where you are and you ignored everything. But for the complete other spectrum, some people have a negative body image. They say, no, I'm not happy, and they look completely fine. They look like a normal human being should look like.
And if they keep pushing themselves, they might lead themselves to a
worse
worse situation in terms of their health and nutrition. And sometimes it's people may ask the question, so where do you draw the line? How does someone actually know if someone's got a mental health issue and they are unable to identify when enough is enough or when they need to start? So like you said,
Yeah.
some people might be letting themselves go and say, I don't care what people think.
So he
But
told
it's
you,
not
I'm
about
happy.
what people think then. It's about how detrimental is what you're doing to your body.
Yeah,
And then you have, like you said, on the other end of the spectrum about people
yeah.
losing too much weight, for example. So what does someone do to make sure that they are following the right steps? Who can they talk to? What can they do?
Professionals, man. Don't you
That's
reckon,
right.
Graham? Professionals.
Yeah, like professionals, they go see a dietitian, first of all,
A nutritionist.
a nutritionist,
Yeah.
dietitian, their doctor.
And you know what? But a lot of people don't do, which I think they should, especially in a country such as this. They don't take advantage of it. So, for example, regular blood tests, so yearly blood tests, general checkups every here and there. In this country, it's for free. So, and most of the people don't do it. So maybe do stuff like that. Make that as part of your habit.
I think the priority should be at the beginning is tell yourself, what are your goals? What are you trying to achieve? Not everybody who's training
No, you didn't.
Knows what they want.
No.
they don't know what they want. Yeah, but these body image issues can have a detrimental effect on your health, and it can actually lead to anorexia or bulimia, and for certain males, it can lead to bigorexia.
Yeah, man.
Believe it or not, what is bigorexia? It's a reverse effect of anorexia.
Yeah.
So you're training. If you suffer from bigorexia, you're training and you're looking at the mirror, and no matter how big you're getting, you're thinking, "Oh, I don't have
I'm not
enough
good
muscle
enough.
mass." Yeah.
And I think that's the stage where how it gets dangerous, bigorexia, is the fact that they reach a level where they don't care anymore what they do or what they
Regardless,
take or what
yeah.
they consume to reach better levels. And they reach these levels and they're still not happy. They go, no, I want bigger, I want better, I want
But they get so big that it becomes
a problem.
dangerous. So there are some people that are so big they can't even
Yeah.
put their arm behind their back, for example.
Man, some of these, honestly, even amongst the pros of the bodybuilders, you sit next to them, it's like sitting next to people. They breathe so heavily.
Heavily,
Yeah. And you think to themself, man, it can't be healthy carrying that much muscle mass around. The human body wasn't like that. We don't have organs that support that much muscle mass.
You know that.
And you know, they get like a phlebotomy, I think it's called, every week or every second week,
Wow.
which is the blood draining because the testosterone drugs, they pump up the amount of
Oh.
blood cells they have. So they have so much, if they don't, they get massive headaches and it's a risk of stroke and clots.
Do you know they say that bigorexia men check themselves up to 12 times a day in the mirror, compared to a normal person who weight lifts.
And I'm sure it's very similar.
I think back
So
in my days,
and
they used to call
anorexia
people
as well.
lovers.
Yeah, that's right.
Stare at themselves in the mirror.
With anorexia, it's actually scary because you have they're skinny and they're looking into the mirror and they see a complete different image, and it's quite an issue, and it's become so prevalent. It was
Yeah.
prevalent in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, sorry, but right now in this day and age, anorexia is a huge issue. People self-inducing,
Yeah.
forcing
I
themselves
think,
to
yeah.
vomit to lose weight.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the new trend though. I think the new trend is for, I don't know, is the new trend skinny now or is the new trend, I don't know what the new trends are.
The
for
new
the
trend
youngsters.
for women or men
Women,
is
because usually
to
anorexia,
have the peach.
anorexia is really a men.
The new trend for the woman is to have a peach.
Yeah. So they're all going doing the surgeries and
Lower
all
body.
the fake
They're
stuff.
all just training lower
Oh,
body.
did you hear about that? What do they call it? Ass cancer.
What?
You haven't heard about ass cancer? So people are getting cancer on their asses because of the botched surgeries. So they're putting implants in their butt cheeks.
Yeah.
Because of the implants in the butt cheeks, people are getting ass cancer.
Oh no.
It's they literally, and then when that happens, they have to take out the implants and take off a chunk of your original butt. So you end up with a smaller butt than you started off with.
Oh no.
Yeah, ass cancer.
Well, when you think about it, you are putting things into your body that aren't meant to be there. So
Yeah,
your body
yeah.
is bound to react
Yeah.
to certain things. Now, definitely there's medical research and whatnot, but
Plastic surgery.
plastic
Most
surgery.
of it is unneeded.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate that people are resulting
What about
to these measures.
what's that surgery that they do on their stomach? Halbuni to lose weight.
Oh, the sleeve.
Sleeve
Yeah.
or bypass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the bypass.
Look, some
I've
people.
met so many people with botched bypasses.
Yeah.
Now they have to carry a pouch. I seen a guy at work. He told me his doctor botched it or something happened during surgery. He lost weight because they did this thing to his stomach, but now he has to carry a pouch where the pus from his stomach goes into that pouch.
Some people do.
Wow.
They do.
Yeah.
Very, very sad.
Some people do the sleeve. They reach a stage of their life where their weight becomes an issue, maybe because of their genetic confine or whatever it may be, or even them
Well,
contributing factors
Yeah.
that's led to it from themselves. And they do the sleeves because, for example, I know someone, his knees were getting out of whack because of the weight and load that his body was carrying.
But the question is, could they not reach that with... I don't know about that specific person, but generally speaking, could you not reach that weight limit by dieting and by
You can, but
even starting off with a little bit of exercise? Because I know some people can't because of their physical situation. But even, man, they said even to waving your arms in it. They had this guy that did he did a documentary to himself, not documentary, he took a photo of himself. He was overweight. And the comment section went on fire. They said, how about you start doing this? They started in the comment section, the people in the comment section, they said, start waving your arms in the air.
some say
He
that
started off like that. The guy ended up losing like 200 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, he started off like that, just
You
listening
know,
to the comments.
mentioning the comments section. How many times have you been on Facebook or Instagram?
I go to these places just to read the
Yeah.
comments.
I can tell.
You literally
Look at the glare in
there's
your
an
eyes.
interesting post, and you haven't even watched the post yet or even finished reading the
I
meme.
don't care about the post.
And you open the comment section to see what people are saying. Some
but
people come up with the
they're witty.
funniest things, honestly, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, witty. What do we mentioned this before.
One
We
day
had
we should have a podcast where we just open
a comment section.
the comment section.
We had someone in America send us memes about our show, and they were absolutely funny, but we couldn't share them, unfortunately.
Do we have thousands upon thousands of fans in America?
Well, we should, because this guy sent 3 photoshopped images of us. What about the one when I said that I'd like to have my own podcast one day? He went and put my photo on holding a wheelbarrow,
What about?
with
Oh no, that was bad.
taking my ball and going home. Oh, the other one, we can't talk about that one. What was it? Running on the ball, holding the ball.
Yeah, holding them all.
Even the wheelbarrow one, man, that was awful.
Creative.
Yeah,
These cartoon
No,
images.
the other one was a wrecking ball,
I want
Yeah.
to know where he
The
found our
wheelbarrow one was
photos. He
horrible.
must have searched out individual names.
obviously, and found you because you're all over social media.
No,
No,
Yes, you are.
no.
it would have been because if someone follows our podcast, they know our page.
Can we talk about a certain situation?
Are you talking about the video that got sent
No, I
around?
want to talk about the Melbourne issue.
About
Nah.
before the Melbourne issue, just talking about the memes.
Which one? Yeah.
The guy that sent us the video.
Yeah,
Why
from
would you
Melbourne,
go
from America. yeah.
So we have people off
Was it Billy Madison?
off the podcast
Yeah, take your ball and go home.
sending
Take it home.
memes for Graham and just basically take it home.
Yeah, he,
Get to the end of the story. End of the story.
he sent me the message.
Billy Madison,
he,
bro.
he sent it to me at 11:30 at night.
He sent it to me around 11:15. I go, can you please forward it to
11:55.
something like that? He sent me it around that time. Before you. I go, can you please forward it to Graham and tell him this is a gift from Ayubi?
Oh, he wrote that. Yeah, I didn't, because I opened it when I woke up,
Yeah.
and why is he sending me video? Madison, go home. And by the time I did my morning routine, I'm like, oh, take it home. Look,
Anyhow, what were you saying?
I will.
No, I wanted to
Cut
get.
you off.
Do you remember the because we were talking about Graham and him taking it home,
Yeah.
where we were in one place, in a certain place that I don't want to mention,
Yeah.
and we were discussing a topic, and then while discussing that topic, I mentioned that Graham had gone to Melbourne.
And he lost his.
Yeah, and he got very upset at me.
Yeah.
Yeah, look,
How could you say it out
How
loud?
could you say? And this is referring to what we said about him being all over social media,
Yeah,
and he was saying no, and I wanted to prove it.
that's right.
So now this is me proving it.
I
Yeah,
think this
and
is
as soon as we left that place,
So basically, yeah. Maybe do you want to tell the story so everyone knows? Just in brief.
in brief, I'll show him how it's taken home.
Basically, yes.
Halboni drops the bombshell of Graham going to Melbourne. Apparently, Graham didn't want to announce it out publicly. So then Halboni's response to it was, you put it out publicly on your page. Then he said, no, but this is for my followers only. It's only a couple of hundred people, blah, blah, blah.
And his profile is public, by the
Yeah.
way.
But I
Point
can
is,
still see who.
long
views my
story cut short, that was around the 40-minute back and forth with these two. Then after we left that
2
place, after we left that place, one of Krame's friends comes up. What did he say? He goes, "You're back.
How was Melbourne?
How was Melbourne?" then Krame goes, "How'd you know?" And he goes, then the guy's response was, "You were all over Instagram."
Look,
and he goes, "And even your baba gave you a shout out." I think the guy's got like a few thousand followers.
First of all, the impression of me was inaccurate. Just to say, I'm sorry. Your impression of me was, I don't sound like that. Come on.
No, not sound. I don't know how to sound.
But
I was just saying that. I don't know.
What
how
he
to
made you sound? He made you sound very interesting.
he made me sound like an uneducated. Like, how'd you know? But
Look,
I'll tell you-
Did you notice that sense of self-consciousness just
Is
there?
he insecure?
Man,
nah,
Is he?
I'm not insecure.
man, that just I don't know, but you went there.
No, I didn't. You're going there now.
All right, I'm just gonna stop. I'm going
I'll-
to stop because
I want to recollect that story because when he said, "How'd you know?" the loudest laugh in the room was him.
it was so happy.
Because while we were arguing for 40 minutes, he was trying to stay out of it.
Yeah.
And then when the guy said, "How do you know?" it was just his way of saying, "Look, I'm in Hannibal's side."
that was hilarious.
Yeah, look,
But we do. Me and Ayubi do tend to take sides with each other. over
yeah.
you.
Look, I'm used to ganging up on me. It's fine.
You know what's cute, but I gotta give it to Krame. Honestly, it's so cute. Is that if I have a go at Krame, let's say I say something that's smart, that's unnecessary, instead of him venting back at me, he comes back and vents at you.
He takes it out
Takes
of
it
me.
out. So I can just give. He never gives it back to me. I don't know why. I don't know if it, I don't know.
I'm not.
Try it. It's okay.
I'm not usually one that gives.
But you give it back.
What
to
you only
Haboni.
take?
He's not a giver.
No, he's not a giver. He only takes.
He's a taker.
Don't you remember the podcast? She needs to love him more than he loves himself.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then we can find a common ground. But back to what we were talking about, which is very, very
Do
important.
you have any, not about yourself,
Thanks, I appreciate.
not about yourself, but do you have any healthy body image stories about someone that you know?
Yeah, I know someone when I was growing up who messaged me privately saying it was a female. Why aren't you liking any of my photos for?
Okay.
And I said because I'm not the type that got hearts. This is when I was first started using Instagram.
Yeah, you saw what you saw. You didn't need to
Yeah, and
comment or press a like.
yeah, I said because I don't know what I said. I said something. It was a while ago, but she really was. It was a friend. She said, "But you never liked my photos," and she kept going on around that topic. Just like my photos. I
Maybe
said,
she wanted that, like the
Acknowledgement.
acknowledgement.
well, that's where now that we're bringing up this topic, it's very important that people they get a satisfaction when they open their image after posting it and saying, for example, 500 liked.
Or like what Ayubi was
Yeah.
saying.
100. It's like a target.
You know, until you just mentioned about the number underneath the photo being removed from Facebook and Instagram,
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
I mentioned that by the
Just
way.
till now,
I mentioned that. Thanks for listening.
since you mentioned
Yeah.
that. But
Give-
I just
give credit where
realized now
credit's true.
when you said it, I'm thinking, man, that's so true. You
Yeah.
don't see
Yeah.
1.1 thousand.
You didn't
or-
see what happened?
No,
You didn't see all the social influencers
Yeah.
having
The heart attack.
Yeah.
Heart attack.
no, I didn't. But
How-
I'll be honest with you.
they went through a
I'm-
meltdown.
I'm barely on social media.
You know what the funniest meme I've seen about social media? I don't know if you guys saw it. It's that a girl and a guy in a meme. The guy asks the girl, "What do you do for a living?" She goes to him, "I'm an Instagram model." Then she
I've
she
seen
goes
that.
she goes to him, "What do you do for a living?" He goes to her, "I'm a soldier on what's that game called?"
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, because I'm a soldier.
look what world we're living in.
So you haven't seen that? I'll take one.
But what happened with the social influencers?
When so basically they used to get paid per like or something like that.
Okay.
It depends on how big they are. I don't know how that stuff works, man. Long story cut short, Instagram took away the likes.
Okay.
A lot of them had just a meltdown. They started crying on their
But
stories.
why? But don't they
embarrassed
still get
themselves.
paid?
So I don't know if now they have to get paid
They would get paid
for
to-
the interaction rather than.
Well, look,
so
Instagram
now-
has become more about engagement
Yeah.
rather than the amount of followers that someone has, because someone can have
Mm.
10,000 followers but gets barely any engagement on their social media. So it's about now
It's about
engagement,
your analytics, how they are, how they look.
the insights, and whatnot.
and
So-
there's apps that provide that now.
Uh,
So
uh,
the people that are pushing and paying for promotions, they're looking for that stuff.
man, you know, you don't, because I barely use Instagram or Facebook for personal use, only for like a business if I need to.
Mhm.
And the amount of apps, the amount of they call them gurus that are out there, and they're just trying to push the Instagram and Facebook advertising campaigns, and it's just crazy.
It is. And you know what? I tried Facebook for 1 week. I couldn't stand it. I felt like it's a platform where everyone goes to embarrass or expose themselves. Man, back in the days, if you did something bad or you did something shameful that's unaccepted morally, you'd hide it. Now they
You
go on.
conceal it, yeah.
I'm not kidding. I'd go on Facebook. I see these relatives, these friends, they're putting embarrassing things and putting exposure.
You would think, how would you
Yeah.
put that about
Yeah,
yourself?
and
or
I'm
your family?
thinking, I don't need to know this
Was it
shit
you
about
that
these
once
people. So
you
I go, I'm not doing this anymore.
Was it you that once mentioned that every 4 Facebook posts is an ad?
No, not me.
Yeah.
Someone was it?
I think we spoke about that.
I think you did mention it
What
once.
did I say?
That every 4 Facebook posts was an ad. So after that night, when we were discussing it, I went back and I was checking, and literally,
I don't think it might have been Graham.
maybe it was, but every 4th,
I'm telling I've used Facebook,
Facebook-
for a week straight
every
and that's
4th
it.
Facebook post
It's
was an
ad.
advertisement. It
Yeah.
was a sponsored ad, and you just think, look how they're
That's how
trying.
Instagram is now.
So 1/4 of all, even on Instagram,
Yeah.
1/4 of all posts on Facebook are advertisements.
you know
what
what,
does
they
that
did
tell
to
you?
me? So I went on I went on Instagram, I did a Graham. So I've been searching, like for example, I saw a shoe ad on Instagram for Under Armour. I checked out the ad. That was a month ago, man. 1 month ago. Then I got to the cart stage, so I put it onto the cart. I was about to check it
You
out.
left it.
And I go, I've got enough shoes. Sack this. I left it and I went back to Instagram, did what I had to do.
I know where this is going.
And they kept pounding me with these ads. Shoe ads, Reebok, Adidas, Nike. And then they suddenly, the exact shoes, the exact shoes that were in my cart, they sent it to me. They said, this is 40% or 60% off, whatever it is now. Hurry up and go buy it. I'm getting these shoes. I went bought
So
it.
you listened and you
You-
went and
you
bought them
feel-
very quickly.
60% off.
And he was like, lucky I didn't buy them before.
Anyhow, but see, now I bought then when I got the shoes, I realized that I still have 3 shoes in the box.
Wow.
Man, I'm not a person that ever buys shoes.
Do you know what's funny?
It
That
just happened. I have to.
I know someone
we
that
know-
overbuys shoes.
I know. I think he buys every color of.
No,
each
no,
shoe
I
he
know
buys.
someone that buys every color and every style of a certain shoe.
wow.
Yeah.
Who is that person?
Look, I'm not going to mention him live on the podcast because he might not appreciate
Yeah.
it. If he wants me to mention it, he can
he
message
drop
me
a
right
like
now
or a message
and
on Instagram.
he can message me right now, and I'm happy to.
He won't know because it's pre-recorded.
Well, when he listens, I'll do it on the next podcast.
You know, do we know if Google can access your microphone? We know they can. Your search history is sold as ads
Yeah,
to social media.
yeah.
Like, for example, I trialed this. Whether I searched it, I don't remember, but I trialed this. We spoke about caravans, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, keep talking about caravans. All our phones are listening.
And then
Yeah. Hard.
on my website, on my website,
Caravans.
caravan ads. And then we spoke about buying a car. I searched to buying a specific car,
yeah.
and then all the brand new dealerships were pushing that car.
So once you search
AdWords.
something on Google, definitely you're going to start seeing
I'm
advertisements.
checking out
But,
Instagram
but
now.
isn't it scary that you'll...
But look, I have experienced times where I would not have searched something, but I have had a discussion with someone, and then whatever we were discussing starts to come up as advertisements.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, so it is quite odd, but there's no proof at the moment.
Graham, the Quantum
suggests it.
360.
Wow.
It's Instagram still trying to sell me shoes.
You must have opened the shoe app. You have a
Oh,
shoe
right.
app on your phone? An app? where you
No,
search-
no. I think I opened up the ASICS
Website?
website before and
Yeah,
Under Armour
that, for example, if
And
you open up a particular
it's your
brand
history,
website,
basically,
your
like you
history, it gets pushed through.
Yeah.
It's interrelated into your social media accounts.
Yeah. So it suits what you like and what they know you're going to
It
spend
just shows you that we've went from being or using social media as a form of connecting, so to speak,
True.
where it's not about just connecting with people, it's about connecting your wallets to all the businesses out there.
Yeah. Have you seen that meme about the Uber?
Which one?
It's like this one that says, I don't know exactly how it says it.
What do the comments say?
But, but the meme says something like, in the past, your mum told you not to talk to a stranger and not to get in the car with a stranger. Nowadays, you go online, You order a stranger online and you get in their car. I don't know, it was a meme. It was funny.
You know, there was a point in my life where I was saying to myself,
Remember?
I am never going to use Uber in my life. I was saying that.
Yeah, I
I
hate
was never. This is.
Yeah.
I was very confident,
it.
very
That's it.
very confident.
Not happening.
Not happening. Not going to use Uber. Why would I use Uber? Who would let a stranger just pick them up randomly and take them to a destination?
Yeah,
Then this guy to my left, Mustafa Krayem, he forced it upon me once.
yeah.
At that time I couldn't drive.
This was 3
At
years
that
ago.
At that specific point in
Yeah.
time, I couldn't drive, and I really needed to get to a place. Really needed to, and I was under the impression that this guy was going to pick me up and take me.
Yeah.
So he was very stubborn. He still is.
Oh, he
but-
didn't want to rock up to your place to pick you up.
Yeah, yeah.
He
no,
lived
no.
in Liverpool.
Did
It
he
was
order
at
an
that
Uber for
time,
you?
yeah. So this is what he did when he was at the place that we were both meant to be.
Half an hour away.
Yeah.
He said, "Look, your only option is an Uber." He's trying to break me and force me to use an Uber. And what he did, he's like, "Don't worry, the guy's not gonna kidnap you. I can watch you on my maps." And he's sending me screenshots. So anyway, this guy sent me an Uber because I didn't have an app. I didn't know how to use it. And the Uber's picking me up, and and he broke me, so I ended up using an Uber.
Mhm.
And as I'm on my way to my destination, he's sending me screenshots of which area I'm in. This was
That's
3
funny,
years
bro.
ago.
then I get to the location, and then everyone's laughing and saying, "Oh, did you enjoy the Uber?" I just told them exactly what's happened.
They're waiting for you.
He-
No, I can't do it. I tried it twice because for necessity, and both times I felt so weird.
What about Diddy?
I know. You remember a few podcasts ago, you
Diddy.
came with a Diddy,
Yeah.
but it's so weird. Look,
Diddy was
alright,
half price.
first thing, do you sit at the front or the back?
Oh,
What's the protocol?
I sit at the front.
I caught an Uber
Me too.
yesterday.
I feel like why am I sitting at the back? This guy's not a chauffeur. But then if you sit at the front, you have to have that awkward.
Conversation.
Yeah.
How was your day, dude?
Yeah.
I caught an Uber twice this week, and I don't usually catch Ubers, but I had to. I sat at the front. The second one
Twice
I caught,
this week.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a regular.
No, I don't usually catch them at
Okay.
all.
No,
But
he's
I-
a regular.
No, I'm not. And I was a regular on Uber Food, but I stopped that ever since my
Yeah.
pizza was coming on a bicycle. I stopped that
They delivered the man
pizza on the bicycle.
last week, not last week, 2 weeks ago. Got a pizza on the bicycle. The thing was upside down.
What do you mean? I ordered.
The cheese was on one place.
Yeah.
The crust
Oh,
was on
no.
another.
I ordered the pizza,
I was furious.
and it was I don't have it often, so when I do have it, I'm excited. Half.
Yeah.
When it came,
I think we
He
ordered
never-
from the same
halves-
spot, by the
yeah.
way.
He never
Might
buys.
have been the same driver, dude.
He never buys this a normal pizza.
He
Just
buys
so you know,
the half.
yeah.
Always.
But I've buying from the same place. The half are pretty.
And he influenced you. Hey,
But
No, but just naturally when you go on, it's like, why would you go one pizza? I'd rather
Why
go
not?
half.
I
You can have
m-
two
I don't
good
know,
pizzas.
it's
Why would
kind
you
of
have
weird.
one?
Like, why would I mix the pizza?
do you know what's
Are you not gonna go, for example, a Supreme or whatever they call it with or Hawaiian with a?
what about chicken and garlic?
Chicken.
Garlic prawn. I'll do that.
Exhibit A.
what happened?
He
Chicken
ordered,
and garlic
used
prawn.
he ordered Supreme.
No, not supreme. Peri peri
Yeah.
chicken on one side, and on the other side garlic prawn.
No, that's weird. That's
Nah.
that's too much.
The garlic prawn was amazing.
Thank you. That's what I'm.
But watch what
trying
happened to
say.
me.
The
You know,
Do you know what
transition
you
was
mean
you
by
know,
half half?
you know that
Yeah.
particular pizza?
Yeah.
So it was garlic prawn on the left, peri peri chicken on the right. The guy comes in the bicycle. I send this guy a photo. Because it's in the bicycle, the halves swapped. So the garlic prawn became peri peri sauce, and the chicken will get into
Oh,
now
no.
it's a peri peri prawn and a garlic
You know-
chicken.
yes,
You know-
yes.
You know this guy. He has absolute anxiety when he orders something and he sees it on the
Bicycle.
bike.
You know what I said?
He has absolute anxiety
But
to the point where he calls me and goes to me, just letting you know, I ordered an Uber and it's on a bus. It's on a bicycle.
I might have a breakdown in 5 minutes. Just be on standby.
Last week, I really craved that pizza, yeah? I grabbed my phone, I opened Uber Food, and I took an executive decision upon myself. I threw the phone, I jumped in my car, and I said to my friends, we're playing online, I said, I'm going to pick up the pizza the old traditional way. Before Uber, how was your life?
Yeah.
You call up, you order, you go pick it up.
But I'll be honest with you,
It's convenient.
Uber did really help me at one stage because when I couldn't drive,
Mm.
I needed, if I was ever in a situation I needed to go somewhere,
What about your wallet?
Yeah.
Did
I
that help you?
needed a form of transport. No, definitely didn't help my wallet, but I needed a form.
It's not that
of
expensive, man.
transport.
After
it
but
is.
after a
Yeah?
month, ask him. After a month, he,
One in 3 days, when I went to Melbourne at a time and I didn't have a car, Like I didn't have a license. I wasn't
I
driving,
guess so. Yeah.
and I ended up spending in 3 days about $800 on Uber.
That's a lot.
Yeah, literally.
His bank account at the end of the month, in that period, I remember we were together. It flashed randomly and said your monthly expenses on
On Ubers too
not
much.
Uber. It gave it
Called it
yeah.
something.
called it
It
something.
was like $2,500.
$2,500, and then he looks at me and says, "See what happens when you don't pick me up before work." Do you know what he made me do? So I live about 10 minutes away from him. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't make him
I
do it. I
first came-
tried to.
He
He
did
never
it.
accepted.
No. I'll tell you what happened. I came back from overseas.
And
I
by
was
the-
still. I was
Can I
still.
just mention one thing?
Can I finish?
I just want to mention one thing.
Yeah.
You know the reason I had to take an Uber?
Yeah.
Part of it is his fault.
Because he won't pick you up.
No.
Like
What maybe we can tell you after the podcast what he did.
no, man, you can't do stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh really? About the license?
Oh no, don't talk about that.
What do you mean don't talk about that?
He wanted me to sacrifice myself for him.
I like put your license
Yeah.
instead of his.
And I prided myself on not losing 1 point.
Now he has
like two points
And now I have only 2
But
points
that's a
left.
big ask, man.
Why? Was it, he had 12 points. Why is it a big ask?
Oh, you take some of his points.
I
Instead
was
of all of them.
perfect. I had.
Obviously, it was.
I thought he's gonna be
I only
unlicensed.
needed 2 points.
you serious?
No,
And then here, if you go, no, he said to me, "This is
Did he
what
say
he said
it
to me."
bluntly or just
Blunt-
did he
no,
try
no,
to
no.
beat around the bush?
You know, Cream.
Eh.
He goes to me, "I'm not ruining my gold reputation for you.
I thought
I
that
want
you get a
to. I
gold
want to live
license.
the rest of my life on 12 points."
Yeah.
It's like,
A few months later, he's got 2 points left.
No, not a few months later.
like,
1
you
year
know,
later.
You know what I did to my wife?
A few months.
She says I was driving her car. I don't want to admit this on the podcast in case she's listening. I don't know who's driving who what car. Anyhow, she says I was driving. I said I'm not. Copped a fine. Basically, she had perfect set of points. I had a perfect set of points on her license. She copped a fine. Then when the fine came in, I go to her, it's your car, it's in your name. You copped the fine. She goes, no, you drove it, put it in your name. I'm like, nah, that's not happening. I'm sorry. And then when I'm a high horse, I'm like, nah, I didn't cop the fine. This is your car. You're copping it. No, yes, no.
Who was
yes,
driving?
no. I don't know, man. I can't. In
They
case,
can't
she's,
reveal it on the podcast. I only listen.
in case she's listening, it's too sensitive at the moment. Anyhow, 2 months after we get the fine, 2 months later, we both had to renew our licenses at the same time because we're synchronized. We both got renewed at the same time
That's
prior.
awesome. Yeah.
Then renewal came in. I had a 50% discount for being a good driver.
Oh no!
What did I do?
Oh, no.
I went and
You're never gonna get that discount.
I printed that paper. I printed it. And then I stuck it in her car.
Are you serious?
Oh, what a troll! I didn't know you were a troll.
Yeah, then we're driving. She got so pissed. She ripped it down and she started pulling it to pieces.
You made sure you didn't give her your car after that day. Definitely, she was
Hey,
copying the
She's
fine.
not gonna drive the van.
Just let me. That story, I have to finish it. I came back from overseas and he's 10
Yeah.
minutes away. We work together. The work starts at 8 a.m.
Yeah,
He wanted me to be at his house at 7:30 a.m.
yeah.
and he described it as this amazing morning experience where we have coffee together before work, then go to work.
Oh, he painted this picture for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
It's ready.
And he made it so, he's like, you only live 3 traffic lights away.
Just do it.
Anyway,
Almost 3 traffic lights.
10 minutes.
It's
Anyway,
not much, man.
No, to be exact, it's a 7-minute drive.
Okay,
depending on the traffic
7.
lights.
but 7 back, that's 14 minutes.
And then the destination is closer to my house.
And
it
by
is.
the way, I
Yeah.
was paying for petrol.
It's not about, I never asked you for petrol.
I was paying for petrol.
Yeah,
Like-
but I never
Anyway,
asked you.
anyway,
I'll just
yeah.
ask you for money. No, not for petrol. Give me $100.
It's for other purposes.
Yeah,
all right.
just a gift. I feel like you're giving me a gift.
You know what's funny? Usually gifts are given without asking.
Mm.
He asked for
Yeah,
the
that's,
gift.
that's vice versa, bro.
It
But
is,
anyway,
it is.
the first time I was still jet lagged. I picked him up, and back then my morning routine wasn't the best.
Mm.
I'm so angry in the car, and he's like been awake for 4 hours. He's like, cheer up. Look, we're driving together. We're starting our morning together. Then you know how I got out of it?
Yeah.
Not being blunt. I didn't pick him up.
Oh, well,
So he'll message me, where are
he
you?
just went MIA.
Oh, I forgot today.
Yeah, it was a rough
I
period.
had to.
It was a rough period because he put me in a situation that day, the first day when he just didn't rock up. But I had to just find my own way there, and guess what was my
snap.
own way? Uber. So I spent
And that's when the Uber started.
Hey, but I was
That's
taking.
$2,500
No, Uber started
later.
before. Yeah,
I was,
literally.
I was
But,
taking him,
I was on average maybe no joke $2,500 on Uber.
but I was taking him
That
home
was a lot,
often.
yeah.
Then the deal that I cut with him was, look, I will always take you home, but I can't pick you up. I can't. My morning routine does not allow it.
His morning routine was
Back then,
his morning routine was sleeping till
Hang on.
7:55.
How long was
His
your...
work, just so you know,
750.
look at this.
Back
His
then.
work was 3 minutes away from his house.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. 3 minutes.
So he wants me to drive backwards.
So you know, if he picked me up, his whole driving would be 17 minutes.
Yeah,
The whole driving time,
17 minutes. It's acceptable.
give or take. So what's 17 minutes?
Yeah.
He wouldn't accept.
How long were you unlicensed for?
1 year.
Yeah, 1 year. And then for the whole year, I
Oh,
heard,
but wow.
if only you took
That's
my
a long
points.
time.
For 1 year. Every time we meet new people or we see old friends, he says, look what this guy did to me. And then they all victimized me.
No,
How
how
many
many
victimized him?
How many points have you got now?
2 points.
Oh, but technically, if you took his 2 points, you'd have been unlicensed. now.
No,
No,
I
that's
had
not true.
full points. The reason why I didn't take them,
He had 12. He had 13.
I had full. My record was
Yeah, but I'm
wasn't
saying-
padded.
It would have been part of your record now.
Yeah, it would have.
So technically, you would have had no points.
Yeah, but
now.
the way I lost my points at City, like for example, on the Hume Highway, they have a City no right turn between just a small amount of time, and the cops just waiting for you. Oh, when he pulled me over for that, you know what I told him?
Uh-huh.
I told him there's people selling drugs in that corner. Do you want to go arrest him?
He used the drugs card.
He gave me a beauty. He said, "I'm a highway patrol, mate. That's not my job." Have you had Raptor 13 pull you over?
What's a Raptor 13?
They didn't know Raptor 13.
Raptor, the police group.
They're a commander group, special forces called Raptor 13.
The
Not
guys that
special
drive the
forces.
forward drives?
They're
Nomad the special forces.
Forward drives?
don't overdo it, huh?
Forward drives?
No, they're different. The four drives one. They're
Nah,
a force
they're
called
not the
Raptor
riot-
13.
Not riot police.
Yeah, that's the ones
They,
no, I don't know
on
what the
on
Raptor
their
is.
vests, they have the word Raptor, as in they come from that group Raptor.
Yeah, like enforcers. But anyway, he pulled me over.
These
Guess
people,
why?
And they're trying to intimidate people.
He
with
was
their
with
names.
me. That was my first fine actually, and he couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't laughing at the fine.
No, but he was laughing that
I
I
was
finally
laughing
lost points.
at his experience.
Yeah.
He pulled.
Because the way that he lost his license,
No, I didn't lose it.
well,
Oh,
sorry,
back then.
lost his points. Sorry, was because he put his blinker on for half a second,
A quarter of a
Before
and then he
turning.
turned it off, and the police they weren't happy with that.
And he got a fine for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
And when he was addressing me, and mind you, we aren't saying that portraying cops to being these evil people. No, because when I was very, very young, I acted like I was to get out of a fine, and the cop told me, "Who do you call when you have a robbery or someone's coming?"
Tell him not the highway patrol. It's not his job.
No, these were the standard police. That's a good one.
that would be good. That one.
But back then, he took it too far. He told me, "We're not in Lebanon, mate. We're not going to beat you over when you pull you over
Man,
on the side of the road."
when I wa-
he pulled that car.
When I was young, I could have done it, man. I had one of the times I got pulled over, I think 13 fines.
Wow.
Yeah,
In one go?
One go, man.
Man.
He handed me a book.
You needed two friends.
He goes to me, he literally said to me, he goes, "I'm pretty sure you can't pay these off."
Wow.
Yeah, he goes, he's circled the state debt recoveries number. He goes, "So when you get the first notice, he goes, give these guys a call. They'll sort you out."
Oh.
13.
I had.
I think one speeding fine and 12 defects.
when I first lost my license when I was young and I learned a valuable lesson, he knows his story off by heart. I avoided the RBT, but I forgot that if you're unlicensed, they just look at your license. They don't check it. And I acted like I want to buy a car from the auctions. They all chased me down. Because the auctions were
know
closed.
why? That's why.
The auctions were closed.
So he drives into the auctions and they're closed.
I'm just driving normal.
No, you can't. See, as soon as you've seen RBT, you can't turn anywhere. You have to look as
Yeah,
soon.
I thought the auctions are open. It turned out it was a long weekend.
Whatever it is, even if the auctions were open, they'll sort of chase you.
Nah, I don't think so.
Oh, they would have. I'm telling
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. But I'm trying to say, usually now, especially now, they have a car at the front and at the back.
Oh.
Yeah, waiting for
This
people
was
that
ages
are
ago.
ready to
They
turn.
try and evade.
But
Yeah, even if they don't catch anything, they try. They're lucky. So
one-
even if you are going to the auctions, naturally they still put you over for 5 minutes. They do an RBT, check your license.
they kept
See you
telling
later.
me, the group of cops then was, I was talking very politely and they said, you know, if you just swear and say, F it, I'm unlicensed, we'll be happy with you. I told them, sorry, I didn't cuss. One officer, he got angry. He grabbed my license and walked straight up to me. He told me, first of all, you live in such and such street. It's the worst street in Sydney. I said, I refuse to talk to you. I'm sorry. I won't speak until this officer leaves.
Talk to the head.
And then he started swearing. I said, you're talking to me in a very... I went on and on. It's not polite. It's rude. I haven't even sworn once. And then he said something, it made sense though. He said, be honest with me. There's a certain culture. If we pull them over in this particular area, how are they going to react to us?
Yeah.
I said, they're going to swear at you. Get out of my effing face. I said, but treat each case to its own.
That's right. You can't generalize.
That's when he told me, we're not in Lebanon. We're not going
Man,
to put you to the
you
side
know,
of the
I
road and bash you.
I feel so bad for him, honestly.
Yeah, they do cop a lot of criticism.
Man, a lot of criticism. What a job they have.
Yeah.
Man, their job is to deal with people that are like temperamental and
I don't really want to get into all of this, but I do want to
especially with
mention
what's
that
going
some
on.
of them, some police officers, you know, they do their job diligently, and some just abuse power.
that's the same with every job, man.
My
That's
brother
the-
copped a fine for not using his fog lights
Yeah.
at night.
Man, same. Again, when I copped the 13 fines in one go,
Oh, one go.
yeah, I was 18 years old. Like I understand some of the things were not acceptable in the car, but have mercy on the people.
Look,
Do you get what I mean? So the point back then, like 20
They
years
could have
ago.
taught you a lesson without
Yeah.
putting you in a $10,000 debt.
Look, I had
It's a 20 years ago or 15 years ago, they would pull you over and they try to teach you that. There's a lesson, there's a moral behind this. I'm not just pulling you over to teach you a lesson. But this guy basically told me, here you go. Start your life off with debt because you can't pay these off.
wow.
Yeah, that's what he did. And
Look, with every group, there's the rotten tomatoes, as they
yeah.
say.
And as soon as he pulled me over, the guy goes to me, he goes to me, get out of the effing car and step on the side. I go, what did I do? You know, the speeding was only 15 and over. Like it's not like I was flying past him. I was 15 and over on the M4. I wasn't even in the close street. Yeah, and so again, so some of them are rotten. I believe that guy was rotten because that wasn't the way to deal with an 18-year-old.
Well, the one that gave my brother a fine for using his fog lights at night,
Yeah.
he was driving a nice car at the time. He parked next to the car as he was taking off, and he started trolling him. So he started waving like this sarcastically, saying bye-bye. He kept repeating bye-bye.
Yeah.
He's trying to aggravate the group of boys in the car. Yeah, so one of them decided, let's go to the local station and put in a file report. I said,
Yeah.
yeah. He demanded, he went to the local station, one of them
He
said,
filed the report?
he's like, I want to file a report and I need to speak to that. It turned out he was a sergeant of that station.
Not speaking to anyone.
File the report all you want. We'll just
Yeah.
delete it.
Police brutality, we didn't want to go there. We're not going to go there, but it's common all around the world. But again, there's rotten tomatoes in every trade.
Yeah.
You have tradies, for example. You're a tradie.
Yeah.
You have dud electricians. You have
Man,
dud.
some of them are just downright thieves.
Yeah.
Man, did I tell you the story about how I ruined an investigation or something like that?
You what?
Man, once I was driving Hoxton Park Road, me, my cousin, and my car, just a normal car. I wasn't actually doing anything wrong. I chucked the right turn. I jumped onto Hoxton Park Road. All I see is a highway patrol jumps behind me, starts screaming, pull over. Another 10 cars rock up. Man, cop cars everywhere. It looked like they had been coming after. It looked like they'd been trailing me for a while. He jumps out of the car. He looks at me and he said the F word. He goes, F. He goes, it's not him. He says, it's not
Oh,
him.
they thought you were the
They
perpetrator.
thought I was someone else.
Wow.
I'm like, what do I do? I just sat in my car. I almost pissed my pants, man. I had like 10 cop cars. I'm like, man,
Wow.
I'm getting a belting now. What did I do?
What an experience. Is this after or before the 13?
No,
fine?
actually, that was after.
Oh,
that was
no.
after. I'm not kidding. Oh,
You're about to get 300 fines then.
I'm like, I don't know how would I told my dad I'm in jail. I don't know what I did. I just turned right. Man, he didn't even say anything. He didn't apologize. He just ran
Must
back
have
in
been
the
something
car
serious.
and they all chucked the U-turn. And I'm thinking, do I drive off now? What do I do? My cousin looked at me. My cousin was older than me. He looks at me. He goes, oh man. Oh man.
That's an experience. I had an experience once with your friend here in the middle.
Yeah.
Pardon me while I sneeze.
There you go. You know you can block it.
How?
Like, how can't you block a sneeze?
Oh, it
Just
depends.
close your nose.
Some of them are powerful for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. The impact is if I block it.
Wait till you become a dad.
because my sinus and winter plays up.
Did your sneezes get worse when you became a dad?
Why?
I don't know. That's how I felt. I used to always read these comments about people saying dad sneezes are the strongest sneezes.
I think you're reading too much comments.
That man, since I became a dad, I have these sneezes. Some of the sneezes I have, I literally I have back pain after.
Maybe they say dad sneezes because you're just getting older.
Maybe
There is an athlete who sneezed
one
and
of
hurt
our
his back.
friends. I don't know if you remember who, by me just saying this, he had a what do they call a herniated disc from a sneeze.
I was going to tell you, there's a professional athlete.
yeah,
He had back surgery because of a sneeze.
yeah,
They were joking first, and he said, "No, I
yeah.
did."
No, some serious sneezes, man.
Yeah.
So this guy comes up to me. He had his bad back. I get him. What happened to you? He goes, I've got a slip disc, herniated disc, whatever they call it. I'm like, how? He goes, I was sick, laying in bed. I'm like, yeah. He gets to me, you know, when I get sick, because I've experienced a few of his sicknesses. He goes, I get real, just
Oh, is that what's
real
called?
tired. And he's sitting there laying in bed sick, and his muscles are all relaxed, and he has one of these sneezes. He goes, I couldn't walk after.
Oh, no.
To go get an
We had
X-ray.
a colleague
no.
at work, when she sneezes, the whole staff room, whether you're in the bathroom, wherever you are, you'd hear her. People would jump off their chair. That's how loud it was. If she wanted to have the students go quiet, she sneezes and everyone just stopped. But no
On
one's talking.
purpose?
No, but that's how loud it was.
Wow.
Yeah, that story was, this guy when we were younger was known to being a smooth driver.
Oh, you told that story, I think.
Yeah?
And you're trying to beat him,
Yeah, but
and there's a cop somewhere involved.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You've
yeah.
told that story.
But you know that story, just to touch
Wow,
on
look
it.
at Ayub. He's just telling you stop being repetitive.
No,
No.
It's I still can't get over the fact that he beat me that night. We weren't racing. He always managed
Tell him,
to
Ayubi, tell
pivot
him.
traffic. And he didn't know the roads, you know that? He wasn't one that knows roads.
Oh, man.
Tell him, Ayub.
He just managed to get out of traffic.
It's like that one time when my apprentice was trying to beat me.
Yeah.
I
Oh, you know what I'm talking
I
about?
was in the van and he was in the car.
Yeah.
And then he just beat me, and then he got in front of me. And then we had to exit onto the M4.
And you timed it
and,
right.
and he didn't know how to exit onto the M4. And he had just become in front of me. He passed the exit, and I milked it to the last second, and I went to the exit, and I saw him look in the mirror. With this shocked face, like,
That was me.
Snap.
See that shocked
He
face?
got me.
I just copped it.
We used to travel in two cars often because of where he lived and where I lived. And he'd always look in the rearview mirror and give me that troll face. And my jaws dropped like, Roadrunner, not again. I can't believe he got me again.
We used to have. It used to be hilarious just having, and obviously in a safe way. We're not speeding or anything
Yeah.
like that, but just having that sort of competition.
Because he'd time it very cerebral, like in a cerebral way, where he just goes. He'll go in the lane that's busy, and he'll time it where I'm thinking I've done the right. I'd go in front of him, and he'd look at me thinking, "I'm going to get you," and he would just get me. But look, I don't know how we went from body image to cop
cars
stories.
and
chasing. I don't know how we did that.
Well, that is kind of how we divert from topic to topic, I guess.
yeah, it is. It is. Anyhow, I don't know. That was funny, reminiscing on these stories.
It brings back so much memories.
It does.
What about parking fines? How annoying are they? Do you know I got butchered in Melbourne? Oh, you reminded me of my Melbourne parking fines.
Man.
By 1 minute. 1 minute.
You want to
wasn't-
know? You want to know what's worse than your fine? You got done by 1 minute. I got done by a ranger that told me I can park in a certain space. Bro, there were two of them. Two of them walking. I look at him straight in the eye. I get him. I have to park here. It's a no stopping because I'm working in the shop right here, and I have to unload from the van. I get him. Is it okay because it's a construction site, and even where the alleyway where the parking is, the whole bit was a construction site. He goes, yeah, no worries, mate, go for it. And the other guy nods his head, the guy next to him. I park my van. A week later, I get a mail fine with a picture there. I'm like, hang on. I asked him for permission.
You
no,
couldn't
too.
contest that?
No, then I spoke to the council, and they go, oh, we spoke to all of our rangers. No one said such a thing.
Oh, no.
They're full of it. And I had to pay a $200 fine. I'm like, this is garbage.
What about, I was parking in a no stopping a while ago. This
That's
was
terrible,
a while
man.
ago when
Honestly.
drones first came about.
Drones?
Yeah.
Like the flying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Olympic Park. I parked in no stopping and thinking I can go work, whatever.
Did you cop a fine with a drone?
No.
Then
I
what?
had a
What's the drone
drone
got for
randomly pop out in front of me at 7 a.m. A drone just in front of me.
Yeah.
Our friends, we looked at each other. Who's using a drone here at Olympic Park at 7 a.m? Within seconds, a ranger rocks up after the drone just goes into the over the lake.
Oh, so it's a ranger sitting there controlling
Ranger
the
drone, yeah. And this was years ago, not now.
Yeah.
And they said, mate, you can't park here. We're about to find you. Oh, no, I'm not parking. I'm just waiting for a friend.
It's like that, babe.
I'm pausing.
I'm not parked here.
Yeah.
I'm out of my car. It's off. It's in park.
No,
but I'm not
we're in the
parked
car.
here.
We were still in the car. But within seconds after the drone, we're staring at it. Where's this drone going? It's like it went back to the ranger headquarters and the car rocks up. Yeah.
Just comes down.
Then the car...
We got him, boys. Go and get him.
Yeah, look, the part...
And they put their belts on with the walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
And they're running towards you.
Oh, no, they were in the car.
We got a few exciting things coming up next week, don't we?
We do. The food, you're talking about the burger challenge?
Yeah.
We haven't discussed the logistics. Who's facing off with who?
What do you mean? Kraham's cooking against.
So it's a Graham cook-off against...
No, we're all. It's a short sticks cook off.
First of all, I didn't put my hand
But
up.
Kraham has a special marinade that he needs to.
But
He
I-
needs to
But
prove.
I think it has to be 1v1. So I don't think it can be 3
How about
versus
this?
1.
It can be
So I
Kraham
think
versus
Chef It Up and
Chef
me,
It
and you
Up
have
and
to
me
do
and you will verse.
commentate.
Well, I want to verse you though.
You want to verse me?
Yeah.
Why?
Why are you guys trying to get out of the challenge?
No, because you're
No,
the big mouth when
look,
it comes to food.
Yeah, I lead by example.
Listen,
as well,
listen,
with my
listen,
marinade.
I reckon we can all try the challenge and see who
We
comes
can
out
all
on
have
top.
a go. We'll try that, whatever it is, man. As long as at the end of the day, it's having a go, having fun.
It's all
You-
about
you know
having
what-
fun, guys.
You know how Graham gave me his secret marinade?
What?
Why do you tell him for?
Let me
I was just telling you. Oh, didn't you
Halboni.
see my mouth?
Let me tell you how.
Can I just mention?
I had my
before
finger
that?
up saying, "Don't you dare!" Didn't you see it?
Who cares?
Can I just mention? He took his secret marinade
He was
to
ready to take
such
it
an
to the grave.
extent, where once I was over his house during the day, and then he was like, "Oh, I just marinated my stuff," and he had a bottle in his hand, and then he quickly hid the bottle, and then he threw it in the bin.
No, but I pegged it in the
he's like, "Be honest with me." He goes, "Did you see it? Just be honest with me." I told him, "No, I didn't." He goes, "Good." He goes to me, "Don't look in the bin. I don't need to know what my secret marinade is."
Man, what a
Did
friend.
you use it?
No. But
No, did you use the
no, I
marinade?
haven't yet. I haven't done.
I'm gonna go to
cutlets
the
yet.
messages and delete the photo.
No,
know,
I
delete for
know
everyone?
exactly what bottle it is. Though. You can delete it all you want. But that's not the point. That's not the point. Anyways, I appreciated that.
I'll be honest.
But you know how I got it off him, Halbuni?
Oh.
Basically, I told him, "What's your secret marinade?" He goes, "No chance. You're not getting that one." He goes, "I'll give whatever. I'm not giving you marinade." I'm like, "Man, come on. Yeah. Yes, no. I got him. You know what? I don't want your marinade."
Use reverse psychology.
What? I
on
use
him.
reverse psychology. Straight away, he starts sending me photos.
Because he went and bought the same cutlets, and I'm like, man.
He
sends
felt
me a
bad
photo
for
of the
it.
cutlets. Did you send me a photo of the cutlets?
I think so.
He sends me a photo of the cutlets. I'm like,
And you felt bad. And,
yeah. And you know him when he gets
you
all.
know, if that was
you-
me, he
you know
would not have any remorse
but,
whatsoever.
But you know when he gets all googly eyes and he says it's okay, and his eyes
Yeah,
tickle.
you kind of have to give him what he's
yeah,
asking
and
for.
it's like he becomes a teddy bear.
Come on, man.
Here, take the marinade.
That was so quick. He came in. He collapsed so quickly.
Yeah, I did. But with
Anyhow,
him,
but I appreciate it. Anyhow, I
you
do
didn't use
appreciate
it, but
Not yet. I will.
Well, I'll be honest with you.
I have to order.
I
new
tried
set.
another marinade yesterday. I cooked it. It wasn't the best.
Yeah.
I couldn't help. I went and bought that particular bottle, and I poured it all over it.
Wow.
My mum's staring at me, and I forget that my mum cooks for me all my
Man,
life.
Did you end up finding it at Woolies or just order it online?
No, there's a certain Woolies that sells it.
Okay, I'll figure that out on my own.
But
Not
all
everybody
this
sells
talk
it.
about this marinade, are you going to be bringing this special marinade next week?
No,
Are you serious?
I'm
So
just
how-
gonna bring it marinade.
No, that's for the chops, but not chops for the
Lamb chops,
cutlets.
So
Lamb cutlets,
next
yeah.
week, Burger Challenge is happening. Make sure everyone tunes in
It's gonna be
to
live.
see.
I think
We are going to have it on IGTV. Is that right, Mr. IGTV?
it's gonna be wide. I think live.
Yeah, we'll try to do it live. If not, but we'll record it for IGTV. Again, the logistics aren't confirmed.
Just
but
to say-
whatever it is, it's
You'll
gonna
know
be
by
fun.
next week.
But let me
It's
put
gonna
it
be
out
fun.
there. Yeah?
It's gonna be.
I'll just
off
put it
tap.
out to see both
Yeah.
the way. I'll have the best burger there between you two.
So I told you that's why I wanted him against Chef It Up, because he can walk the walk. He can talk the talk. Sorry, I don't know if he can
Okay.
walk the walk.
Sometimes I can't
But
walk the walk, but
do you really want someone that's going to give the perception that he can do it, but he can't?
I don't know.
How do you know I
Yeah,
can't?
but that's more fun. But
No, he's saying you
but
talk the talk.
The thing is, it's a risk if we get him 1v1, so him versus Chef It Up 1-on-1.
But we have more of a chance to beat her if
A 3-against-1 for
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
'Cause
I'm
if
not
we
making
do
the same burger.
1-against-1,
we need to
we're
raise
putting
the,
all our
the
eggs in one
stakes and the
basket.
odds,
Means we're
improve the
relying on
odds.
Graham.
But we need to improve the odds
Yeah.
because what if this guy makes a mistake under pressure? Have you seen him under pressure?
He starts gonna
He gets the shakes.
and screaming like an old man.
When it comes to handling bottles and coffee, those who follow me know that they spill often. but when it comes to cooking something I really like to cook and I'm familiar
You're
with
passionate.
I'm passionate.
There you
But
are.
look,
And you do it good too.
You know,
Can I
but
say?
I'll be honest with you.
Bring your own
2020
barbecue next week.
No, no way.
Why?
We did that last time.
So what happened?
I
He
stayed at
can't
your
ta-
house for
he
3
can't
4
take it
days.
back
That's
home.
not my fault. It's your fault.
I'll tell you something. That 2020 was a year of me cooking. Before that, I only knew how to make eggs.
How happy is your mum now? She barely cooks for you.
Not at all.
She's not happy.
No. She
Oh.
she tells me, "Then you want me to cook?" Nah. Just get out the Barbie. Or
Do you
make
like
my
the
eggs.
independence?
I'm a very independent man, and I love that I added
You're a
cooking.
gentleman,
cooking-
Mustafa Karim.
I added cooking to my arsenal, but don't get me to make what I Anna vine leaves.
He couldn't answer the yes or no.
No, he couldn't. No. Has to be. He has to stretch it.
You know what? I love it. I can't wait to see what you have
I
with
feel
the burger.
confused now.
He's gonna sit
lost.
there. He's gonna YouTube every chicken burger. No, but it's not a.
No, he
It has to
doesn't
be
YouTube.
specific.
I think it's a peri peri chicken burger, isn't
It
it?
has to be like we have to replicate the Oporto's one. I
Yeah.
think that's the point of the challenge.
Yeah.
So we can't do our
We need.
own.
We don't know all the logistics at the moment. They'll be all finalized.
But that was the point because Chef It Up brought up this burger a month or so ago.
She mimicked it. Yeah,
That was unbelievable. The
Yeah,
photos.
look, I can't make that
It
burger.
looks
Yeah.
quite nice.
I don't know
Why-
if the photo was photoshopped. Chip
why
it up, but
can't
that burger.
She's not going to be happy listening to that.
That photo was amazing. You know how hungry I got after that photo? I think I
know.
ordered the burger.
So the point is, I think we challenged her on that. So we said to her, I remember Graham saying something like that to her. Guess that burger looked really good, and we're gonna bring it up. a
Look,
notch.
is it bad if I do work experience at a burger shop?
I
Now
don't
to
know.
next week.
So look, gaining experience in life is
It's
it's
important.
an experience. But
Just to have a competitive edge.
what about your day-to-day lifestyle and work? What are you going to do with that?
It's flexible at the moment.
Oh, okay.
You can work whatever. Oh man. Sure.
There'll only be one winner, and I'm putting my hand up now. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen it all.
You reckon you're gonna win against Chef It Up?
No,
One.
no. I'm talking about you two.
Us. Why
What?
us too?
I'm gonna
No,
make a better,
I'll be
better burger
I'll be
than you
honest
two.
with you. Look, I'll be honest with you. Most likely, I'll cook a better burger than him. Most likely,
What?
So you're
In
saying
terms of-
you cook the best burger amongst us?
amongst you three.
Okay.
Look, I think this
Yeah.
guy,
And
the
I'll-
silent
and I'll
one.
tell you something else. Yeah,
No, I'm horrible.
I'll tell you something else.
Self-confessed.
I they fall apart. and whatnot.
He's going to have an issue with presentation. I'm telling you from now. The way that burger looks,
Why are you exposing my weakness?
I'm telling you from now, the way that burger is going to look, it's
Nah,
not going
if
to be.
it's falling apart, if it doesn't look like a burger, you lose. It's automatic loss.
Who set the judging
So-
standards?
Natural judging
If it looks like a
standards,
fruit salad, it can't be a
that
burger.
Before the food tastes good, it's got to look good.
All right, next week, if you see me in a cooking gown and some special gloves and special buns,
Okay, so you're gonna look good.
I want to bring all the arsenal, everything. I might even do work experience at the local burger joint that sells amazing burgers, just to see how he's making his burgers.
Look. I think it's going to be very exciting,
It is.
very fun. I do hope everyone does tune in. Give us your thoughts if you do believe that we can produce an excellent burger and beat Chef It Up.
For those
us
of you
a
who don't know, is all you
Quick
can
message
just
on Instagram.
search on Instagram, Chef It Up, find her burger, and
You'll be able to understand what we're discussing. Or you can find us on Instagram, The Short Sticks.
YouTube.
Message through and give us your thoughts. Are we on YouTube now?
We are now live on YouTube.
Nice.
All 9 shows. And can you believe this is our 10th show? Who would have thought?
Wow.
10 shows. I know it's not a big
The
number.
big 1-0.
But it's 10. It's 40 away from 50.
Wow. And it's 190 away from 200.
It's 90 away from 100. A century. We are 90 shows away from a century of shows.
No, not a century of shows.
Why?
I don't think that works like that, does it?
We're 90 shows away.
100 shows is only 100 weeks. So just under 2 years.
We can record 3 shows a week. Who
Man,
says that we have to only record
A
1 a week?
century is 100.
Dude, that burger looks amazing.
Oh,
I just pulled it up.
A century's 100. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you looking at the burger?
Can I say?
Simple
Stop.
burger, but I reckon it tastes amazing.
You're making me want to order a burger tonight. I was supposed to go train after this.
1,400
You don't need
1,400
chicken.
likes on that burger.
I do eat chicken. How many likes?
1,400 likes on
Wow,
that
it
burger.
must be a nice burger.
Simple burger, but I reckon it tastes amazing.
Okay, look, I might not beat her, but I'll beat you too.
You know, if his one tastes better than mine,
All right. Let's say we decide that she wins overall.
how we get
think
why
she
you-
really
the
won
next,
from
then the next challenge is amongst
But
us.
where's the
So
confidence?
who gets the winner
But where's
again?
the confidence in the short sticks?
No, I'm saying if it happens.
Or
she-
if
So
okay.
does she decide who wins
I
amongst
think
us?
so.
That's how it has to be. Because
Okay.
she's technically the chef.
She's surely
obviously
with
on,
the-
because
the
Graham's
chicken
definitely going to choose himself.
Yeah, even if it's a mess.
she's surely on my side.
Damn, be
He's,
so
he's trying
confident
to
now, big boy.
he's trying to hypnotize Shepard up through the podcast.
If you recognize my voice, it's M2. I challenged you with my lamb marinade. I'll give you the recipe if you want.
Just choose me, make sure
Choose
I
me.
win.
Rig the competition.
All right, I think it is time to farewell, our first farewell for our 10th podcast.
Our 10th podcast.
Absolutely amazing, and we are looking forward to you next week for our burger challenge.